One, two, three, and we are live. What's going on, you guys? This is the Qbox, and welcome to our show. My name is Nelson.
My name is Devin.
And yeah, man, we're just excited to do this. This is our first ever podcast, and we're just so delighted to be here with you guys, and just kind of sharing our journey with you. I think it's going to be, I don't know, I think it's going to be a great time. What do you think, Devin?
It's gonna be an awesome time, and just explaining life experiences and just a plethora of things. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, definitely. So for all you new listeners out there, before we even begin for our first podcast ever, do us a favor. Go ahead and subscribe to our beautiful podcast. We have so many beautiful things in store for you guys, and we're just gonna have a blast. Just kind of, again, just showing our experiences and just having fun, and and just discussing things that are just beautiful, relevant, and most importantly, there to change your life at some point. And so, if we can do that for you, man, then I think, I don't know, I think we're doing our job right.
Oh yeah, no, that's the whole purpose. So I mean, we obviously want to grow, with our audience, and I think that's what's really important is as much as we're going to share our perspectives, in on a multitude of categories, it's really also learning from our audience, because again, it's really about growth, and how we can all grow together, individually, personally, professionally, just collectively all together. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man, and I think we have a nice little a season of shows that we're putting together right now. So we're just super excited. Forget the clap, that was a little loud. But we're just super excited to just be there to just to have fun.
Oh yeah.
know?
It's all ultimately it's all about having fun. So
Yeah.
we're all about having fun and laughs. So definitely expect a lot of laughs. And also a lot of vulnerability. So we definitely want to make sure
Yeah.
we're vulnerable because again, that's also part of growth.
Absolutely.
And sharing our truth. Even if it's things that we don't want to, maybe go over, meaning explain, but ultimately, this is therapy, for not only ourselves, but also other
Right.
people, because, what I've learned over the years is everyone has a similar story, and unless we share our own, it's just kind of dormant. And
Yeah.
I've just really known that having, this energy between the both of us it needs to be shared with the world. And that's where, Qbox came into play. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess that brings us to our next point. So I know you guys are probably wondering who in the world is Nelson and Devin. So I mean, Devin, I feel free to go ahead and start first, man. Tell them a little about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So, as Nelson mentioned, I'm Devin. I've I would say probably a cool fact about myself. I've lived in every region of the United States. I say cool fact, but that's really due to me being a military brat, originally from Baltimore, Maryland. So, and from there, I've lived, cool places such as Alaska. So, which actually segues into how me and Nelson have met. We met at the age of 12 and on a military
Wow, it's
base.
been that long already, huh?
It's been that long, so we
That's
won't
crazy,
disclose
bro.
our age yet.
We're
That'll
not we're
definitely.
not old, man. We're not old.
Yeah, we're still young, as they say,
Yeah,
young as you
definitely.
feel.
Always.
But we definitely we've known one another since we were 12 years old. Like I said, we met on the military base Fort Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska. We actually met through my brother and a mutual friend of his.
Wow.
We all had a singing group. I wasn't singing yet in the group, but basically in a nutshell, Nelson was brought to me through my brother's mutual friend, and they just thought we would probably hit it off. And here we are 20 years, over 20 years later,
Damn.
still tight as can be, and never broke a stride in terms of our friendship. And like I said, as we get further along in these episodes, you guys will learn even more experiences, that we've had together, as well as
Right.
individually. I think that's the cool thing about this is that there's a lot of experiences that, since the age of 12, at some point we did move away from one another, and I had my own experiences in life as well as Nelson had his own experiences in life.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's the really cool thing about this. We're going to learn as best friends of over 20 years. We're going to learn about one another on this show,
Yeah, I remember
so.
remember remember when I moved from Alaska and I brought you to New York City. It was crazy how it even happened, how I convinced your mom somehow to to get you to come. You're 13 years old. How in the world is your mom gonna say yes to that? But in my opinion, I was just like, there's got to be a will, there's a way. We're best buds, and it's got to happen. And that summer,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That
Dang.
summer, I mean, that I think that
Was that the
alone,
first time you were in New York, or?
that was my first time in New York City. So obviously had seen many movies, growing up about New York City. Probably a lot of them was like, man, I don't know if I want to go to Brooklyn. I don't know if I want to go to the Bronx. Those places look dangerous.
Yeah.
But no, it was an exciting summer. And like I said, we'll definitely go into more details. That's still the most, if not one of the most memorable summers that I've had,
Yeah, we'll
yet to
definitely
date
get
in
into
my
that
life.
eventually, for
Well,
sure.
yeah, I definitely have to share my experiences. Being in
Definitely.
New York for a whole summer, the Bronx specifically, Castle Hill, even if to be even more
Castle Hill, the
specific.
boogie down Bronx, man.
Um,
Crazy.
very, very fun time. But yeah, I can't thank Nelson enough for allowing me to have that experience and convincing my mother at 13 years old to allow me to fly from Alaska to
Crazy.
New York City.
I think she gave me a nickname that I'll never forget. What was it again?
The nickname is Determined Herman. So that nickname he still wears that name proudly.
I would say I would say I do. Whenever I want something, or I definitely am determined to make it happen. So I don't think that's ever left me ever since then.
Oh no,
Um,
no.
yeah. So I mean, I guess I should tell them a little bit about myself. Well, of course, my name is Nelson. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York City. And yeah, I like Devin, have also traveled the entire globe. I've been to places like Germany, Italy, Australia, like you name it, I've been there. I lived in Alaska as well, all throughout Europe. And speaking of Europe, I'm actually currently residing in Germany right now as we speak. So as Devin records in Detroit, Michigan, I'm over here on the other side of the globe, saying hello to you guys, and we're just making this beautiful thing happen. So, for us, that's exciting, because that just tells us a lot about how determined and how dedicated we are to this task, being two worlds apart and coming together to share something special with you guys. And that's when, a friendship is strong. And yeah, I guess that should, bring us to the point of what in the world is the Qbox? What started that? Go ahead, Devin. I'll let you do it, man.
Yeah. So I think for us to do a podcast together and not to be in the same room, or even the same, country, I think is unique because,
Oh, yeah.
We didn't let that stop us. Obviously with this pandemic, as I say, sometimes the best ideas come, in a recession or a pandemic. So as life has slowed down for many around the world, including myself, including Nelson, Nelson brought the idea to me, and said, hey, let's do a podcast. I think you would do great. Obviously I have a lot of personality. Nelson has a lot of personality. Bridging those two together is just like, just colliding together is an amazing experience. So I couldn't say no. I was like, I told him, prior, to us, brainstorming about our podcast, and the name and everything that we were going to come up with. I said, it's almost like having dormant energy, and I
Yeah.
just feel like it's time for the world to experience his energy as well as my energy. We're all about making people smile. I've never had an issue. Anyone who knows me, and I'm pretty sure at some point someone's going to hear this. Oh yeah, I know Devin, I know Nelson. We've always tried to make sure we bring that positive energy to people because it's important. But getting to the Qbox, essentially the Qbox, we kind of alluded to it already, but we're going to touch on, personal life experiences. We're going to talk about music, film, tech,
Oh, yeah.
entrepreneurship,
Everything.
life hacks, and so much more, but again, like I said, this is I would say a learning podcast, learning from our experiences, because what I've learned myself as well as Nelson is you don't know what someone is going to be, a podcast to where we just want to share, experiences as well as learn from experiences. So,
Awesome, man.
yep.
Yeah, it looked like I lost you a little bit there. Was that
Yep. No,
okay?
I don't. Yeah. Okay. We're back. Yep. I'm
Yeah,
not
we're
sure
back.
what happened.
Listen, this is real and uncut. Sometimes we might have this issue because we're in different parts of the world, but we're still making it happen. And yeah, we'll just keep going. But it's funny. Yesterday we were talking about something, like our why, right? And why are we doing this? And I believe, from what I remember yesterday in our conversation, you mentioned, just, to inspire people. And then I had said something about, yeah, and also unlocking the mind's potential. I feel everybody as human beings have so much potential to be greater versions of themselves. And for me, that's just kind of like the whole purpose of being in this life, is to kind of learn through the life lessons and meet amazing people and just gain these experiences that just help us grow every single day. And so I think if we can share that with you, I think that's just going to bring light to what, our purpose is as being in the Qbox. So, but yeah, I'm excited about that. I think we are the topics that we are going to talk about in the next episodes and the people that we're going to bring on. They're going to be experts in their fields, where we're not experts. We're going to bring in experts to talk about those things and just kind of shed light on what we're doing. And most importantly, guys, we're going to have fun. So right now is our first podcast. We might be a little stiff, but we're going to just jump out of the, we're going to jump out of the shell here in a minute, and just have a freaking blast, man. I think it's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. So eventually there's definitely going to be some comedy sessions,
Oh yeah.
So
Get ready. We're holding them back right now.
Oh yeah. I have to wait. I can't just jump in out the gate. But no, it's definitely going to be everything under the sun. And when I say everything under the sun, just anything that we can uplift, inspire, like I said, help anyone.
Right.
As well as help ourselves, in any way. I always say for us, it's really about growth, development, and obviously having just, various perspectives. Because again, I'm all about hearing, different perspectives. Because again, that's just going to help us grow individually, and just kind of, continue to push us forward. So
absolutely, and I think what's just to shed some light on that, Devin, is giving people hope in a sense. There's somebody out there that's going through something right now, right this second. There's people doing things they shouldn't be doing. There's people, getting a new job. There's people losing their job. I mean, there's so many things that are happening all at once. And if we can just give hope and just kind of lift people, lift the souls of others, and do it in a way where it's just like, we're not preaching to you. We're just having fun, And but we've been there, done that, and we haven't done everything. And yes, we don't know everything. And this is something that we'll say right in the forefront. All we can do is just give you our perspective, and when we give our perspective, we'll do it the best that we can do it, and it's only going to come from a place of experience and only experience. We'll never talk about something obviously we've never experienced and act like we know it, So yeah, that's in my opinion, that's just kind of how we're looking at it from the Qbox perspective. So I don't know, I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's exciting stuff. Like I said, yeah, we've brainstormed on a lot of topics, and I think just, speaking of topics, sometimes it's going to be, I won't say sometimes, but a lot of times it is going to be about current events. But I think what's, again, unique is, speaking to the current events that are happening in Germany, and the current events that are happening here in the States. And, even more specific, like you mentioned, I'm here in Detroit, Michigan, so just understanding what's happening over there, because I don't know. Even when we're talking about, the current state of the pandemic, there are some differences in the way things are being handled, as well as there are some similarities, so.
How was it in Detroit right now, if you don't mind me asking? What's the
so in Detroit, I mean, it's a lot of things have opened up, but there are a lot of things that remain closed, but for the most part, a lot of things have opened up. But of course, we have to wear masks, which I think, as you said, in Germany, same thing for you guys, but just being cautious, as I kind of call the COVID-19, it feels like the invisible monster. No one knows where it is, and just understand the seriousness of it. But obviously, as we know, positivity, reigns strong. So I know everyone around the world will get through it. but at the same rate, you do have to be conscious. So, but for Germany, what does that look for you, brother?
Uh, Man, honestly, I would have to say it wasn't as aggressive. Because you have to remember Germany, is now nowhere near the size of the United States. So when we got hit over here, it wasn't. I guess I couldn't really take it seriously at first because there was really no real strong signs of it. All I remember is just, going to the airport one day and then somebody saying, hey, listen, asking me if I've been to China for the last, was it 2 to 3 weeks? And if so, how long did I stay there? And we were just getting all types of security questions. And I'm just like, why in the world are they asking me this? So at first it was a bit of a shock. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but um, but I guess it really got serious for me when the whole lockdown happened and everybody just started losing their jobs and not going back to work and everybody's just at home. And, I had a lot of sessions booked. I had a lot of shows booked, next thing you know, hey, look, we're going to have to cancel that, because of XYZ reasons. And so, for me, that was a bit of a hit because I was like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
it's really happening now. And, we have to do something about that. At some
Mm-hmm.
point we got to, make sure we stay safe and our little ones stay safe, yeah, man. And I guess it just got real when I started seeing the masks as well. That really got
Mm-hmm.
me. But yeah, in Germany, as of now, it's pretty relaxed. People are slowly going back to work. But I do think, however, the aviation industry got hit pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
So anything regarding travel, there's not that many flights coming in and out of Europe to the United States. They really have it limited, especially here near the Frankfurt area. This is the area I'm kind of living in, a little bit in the countryside, but it's close to Frankfurt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like it was like a ghost town in that airport, man. I couldn't believe it, and
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. As far as Germany is concerned, it's starting to ease up a little bit. People are slowly starting to go back to work now, and they really took that seriously. And in terms of
Rightfully so. So I mean,
yeah,
obviously, I mean, when you're talking about something that is killing people,
yeah,
and making them very sick, you definitely have to take precaution. I
hmm,
know personally, I've flown in May and June, and definitely have to say the experience was very eerie. And going
hmm,
into an airport and almost feeling like flying out of Detroit, DTW, almost feels like at the time in May and June, it felt like no one was even working in there because it was that quiet. But again,
crazy.
obviously traveling, is still happening, but it has
Hmm.
has came to a halt, like you said, in a lot of places. I know personally, I can't wait to come to Germany, so that's something
Yes,
I
make it
haven't I
happen.
haven't done yet. I was planning on going this summer, didn't happen due to the pandemic, which is
Yeah,
fine,
we'll get our
and like
time,
I
man.
said, we'll get our time, and like I said, we're still able to rock and roll, on our podcast. Like we're doing now, and obviously this is step one. We've got so many other things planned, so many more ideas
Yeah,
that are already in motion, for our podcast. But I'm excited, all in all, like I said, sometimes the best things come out of, a pandemic, recession, so that's what's happening now. So
yeah,
something great.
definitely. So yeah, I guess with that being said, guys, thank you so much. This is our first time, again, our first podcast. Everybody that's joined in as of now or that's going to join in the future, definitely, uh, welcome. And again, if you're new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to us, this podcast, and let's just have a great ride for sure.
Awesome. Well, hey, what we plan to do is leave you guys with a quote every single episode. Like I said, we want to try to inspire, and really just uplift, at some point, during the episode. And like I said, even at the end of the episode. So the quote I have for you, this is actually by Willie Nelson, the musician. So it says, once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. Obviously, that goes without saying. I think that is one of the most challenging things, even for myself. And like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
we'll talk about this, further along in the podcast episodes is, really getting rid of those negative thoughts,
Yes.
and really replacing them with positive ones. Obviously we plan on talking about meditating, just a multitude of things to really, stimulate the brain, help the mind. And as Nelson said, we're not professionals. So, a lot of things are going to be research that we're going to do on our own end, and eventually have, guests on the show, to where they can, speak more in depth about, the brain and the mind. But yeah, positivity, and keeping the negative out is so key. And like I said, that's something. I'm human. Nelson's human. We definitely have our days. We're like, man, I'm just in a negative state. But I will say that is, one thing I've always appreciated about our friendship.
Yeah.
I'm able to pull him out of, his negative thoughts. He's able to pull me out of his negative thoughts.
Absolutely.
And, especially during this pandemic, because, it's definitely messed with a lot of us, and just really making sure to have that mental stability is key, during this time. So yeah, as much as you can, remain positive. So
That's all we can do. I've always said that you're given three choices in life. You could either be negative, you could either be neutral, not care at all, or you could be positive. And I think in terms of, and again, one more time, we'll get to that eventually, but we don't know it all, but we do know our life experience, and that's definitely something that we've learned along our journey is, removing negative thoughts 100%, because why? Thoughts become things, so if we're not aware of what we're saying every single day, then we might be harming ourselves without even realizing it. And so I think it's extremely important, as Devin said, just remove it. We're going to be all right. Anybody that's going through something right now, we just want to, lift you up, and, remember, it could always be worse. And so, I guess with that being said, guys,
very true.
We're going to catch you on the next one. Again, welcome to the Qbox.
Yes, welcome.
And we look forward to speaking with you guys again. So,
yes, awesome. Hey, we'll see you next episode.
Take care, guys.